Right, mic check, mic check. Looks like we're running good here. How's it going? What's up, everyone? Welcome to my Sunday YouTube stream. Everyone's having a good Sunday. Yeah, Dragoon, I have to actually manually do that, but I made sure to add everyone when I'm doing that, when I go live, to put that through my Discord. I do not have the ability to bot it out until I make partnership with YouTube, so I have to manually do that every time I do that. Which is all right. It's not. It's just something I just got to remember to do. So we're doing all right. Need to get some of these Tyranids done. I'm hoping to hopefully try to get the whole Norn Emissary done today. That would be it. Alright. Guess we'll get in the game, have some fun, huh? What's up, everyone? My name is Brent Lee, and welcome to Wicked Minis. How's everyone doing on this awesome Sunday? Early streams, baby, early stream. After I'm done painting here, I primed all the Ultra Bros army. So after I'm done with the Imperial Knights, we're ready to smash up on some Ultra Bros. And I'm going to be priming the rest of the White Scars army after I'm done with today's stream. Do that, I'm going to spend another hour going through a ton of prime. And we're going to be working on this bad boy. So we've been working a lot, and now I can't remember. We got to finish up the highlight parts, but I got to try to get the color matching to the highlights that we did on this one. So we're getting there. I just gotta get this side. All done. Do the edge highlights on that side. Then we'll start working on all the bones. After all the bones, then we'll work on doing the tendons, like the stuff that's in between this outer shell armor and the vent. That was our goal there. Balls. We have these like little balls on the little tentacles here. Those done. All the bone features on here done. Then, yeah. We're good. We're good. We're making progress. We're doing good. We're doing good. But yeah, so far everything's been looking pretty good on the YouTube. I've been very excited and hoping everybody is enjoying this. And it's been helping grabbing more subscribers, which I do appreciate. And everybody coming and hanging out and watching this too has been helping up with gaining the hours that I'm gonna need to try to make this partnership work with YouTube. I should have done this the same time as when I was doing Twitch, but I only had enough time to do things on Twitch, !Twitch, if you guys want to come over on my Twitch channel. Okay. Alright, so we need, and crazy enough, I put all my colors back. Which is a bit unusual. So now my paint rack's all kind of full now. I had to put them all away so I can do priming, so I just gotta prime the... Oh, I gotta prime the White Scars army and get that going. That's the next stop job after I'm done with this stream. Hopefully we can get this Norn Emissary done. I really want this thing done, and then on the Sundays I'm gonna try to get like models that I can hopefully do and finish in one stream. So I want to get all this done, and then I want to see what G-Dubs has for pre-orders. Morning shakes. Early morning shakes. What's up, Antifreeze? How you doing? How you been? Doing good. That's good to hear. Yeah, I'm just trying to get my Destiny grind going here on YouTube. It's working. So I definitely always appreciate the subscribes. The likes on the videos help out tremendously too. I guess the likes do something with the analytics also. The more likes to the video, the more it gets kind of pushed out. Yes. I still don't know all the fundamentals of YouTube Live. We're kind of stabbing in the dark here. But no, I appreciate you guys just coming in, even if you're just lurking in the stream. That helps me out because I need to collect as many hours as I can. Of public viewership, so it's all based on you guys there. Watching this accumulates me a really good mass amount. It was funny, I was on the YouTube thing, and it's just like, you unlocked achievement. And I'm like, achievement? You're like, you had 1,000 people view your stuff. And I was like, have I really? It's, like, I wish that 1,000 people subscribed too. I'm like, we would already accomplish my goal number 1. But I figured if I keep it steady and consistent, like I did on Twitch, we'll we'll do the grind, the good old Destiny video game grind. You spend 8 hours just get freaking two levels up on your light levels. Like I spent 8 hours and like I remember when like Destiny first started, because I know like the light levels are like super high now. I remember like Destiny first started, and it was like what, like 0 to like 250 light level was like pretty quick to get, and then it takes like 8 hours to kind of get up into almost 300, and then once you hit the 300, that was kind of like your max peak. And then everything that you were doing, you were grinding for like 301, 303. It was just this massive like grind, and you spent like hours on it to grind up high enough, and you're like, yes, I finally got the 315 light levels, but it took me 40 hours to get there. The one thing that I do like about YouTube Live is that I can use a plethora of different kind of music without breaking copyrights. Which I am very limited on music selection. Even though that I do epidemic sound, yes, it's mostly for YouTube. Obviously, I can use pretty much anything on here for you. Not use anything for Twitch. Why, like, you keep on hearing the same music on Twitch, but on YouTube I can put on anything I want. Not breaking copyrights, which that's actually kind of surprising to me. It almost feels like YouTube almost acquires epidemic sound, and YouTube, and then Twitch does not. Hey, what's up, Talon? How you doing? Got all the packages shipped yesterday. I had to rewatch my stream because I couldn't remember who won the bust. Or Squirtle who won the bust. I was sitting there, and I can't remember who won the bust. Watch my video at the end. Didn't write it down. Problem, dude. I write all my stuff down. I really hope to get this Helio done with all the edge highlights on here and the rest will go by relatively quickly. I think this was the hardest part, is to edge highlights. Yeah, the episode 3? Yes. Yes, because I think the next episode comes on December 1st. Coming Friday. Yes, I watched them on. I really like it because I like how they're showing all these different kind of other monsters. And of course everybody wants to see Godzilla, which you do in some of those episodes. Kind of an origin story from Godzilla, because he was never that large, and it shows kind of like what's happening with Godzilla, you know, from the flashbacks to the younger Russell Crowe's part. But when they do the flashbacks of the early times of them always keep on like nuke bombing Godzilla all the time, kind of created that big old monster. But yeah, but the thing is, in the current situation timelines, I like all the different kind of monsters that are showing up, which is nice. Because a lot of those monsters are from like the older like claymations of Godzilla. So he is still to this day, man. Like, he never lost. I think Kurt Russell was just a handsome fella. I think there's a difference between like a cute person and a handsome person. And like a cute person can kind of grow out of it. Like, here's an example now. Now, this could be hearsay to other people, but my opinion only. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was like cute back in, you know, Risky Business, and, you know, what is it, Thunder Mountain, and, you know, all his older movies. He was like a cute person. And then now that he's older, he's not really a handsome fella anymore. He's just a kind of a normal guy. Another one, Leonardo DiCaprio. I think Leonardo DiCaprio, like Titanic, whatever the TV show that he first started in, Titanic, all his early movies that he played in, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, all those other things. He was a cute kid, a cute guy growing up, and then now you see him now, like Wolf of Wall Street and all the newer movies. He's just kind of like a normal dude. Yeah, Monarch is awesome, and I like Monarch a lot just because I like how they're introducing a lot of these monsters. Not really introducing, like reintroducing these monsters. Because a lot of these monsters are from the old claymations of Godzilla. If you look at the Godzilla movies, you know, like, you know, where they have like big scorpions and, you know, stuff like that. So there's all these like crazy ones. You know, like giant spiders, the giant crab, and now you got this other monster. I just like where there's all these other different kind of monsters. And then you got like the apex monsters, which are like, you know, Godzilla, of course. He's the king of the monsters. But then you got like King Kong. He's one of your apex, you know, one of your top dog A tiers monsters is like King Kong, Godzilla, the three-headed dragon, the flying dragon, I can't remember what his name is, and like the moth one that were actually in like the big movies, And then, but all of them had to get there somehow because you had to fight all these different kind of monsters, right? And they're still like huge monsters. So I like it. Like, I like Monarch a lot just because of it. Yeah, exactly. He has a classic handsomeness. Like, that handsomeness just doesn't leave you. Like, another one that's a very handsome fella is like Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt, from being young all the way to his age right now, he's still a handsome fella. Like, if you watch, like, what is it, Lost Island or something with Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock, and then Brad Pitt pops in there, and he's just a good looking fella. You see him in Bullet Train, still like a very handsome individual. Like, yeah, it's is it Ghidorah or Ghidorah, Mothra? Yeah, all those are like all your Apex top tier monsters. And I like how Monarch is playing, where they show like Godzilla and maybe they'll show other like big monsters and stuff, but like other Apex top tier monsters throughout. And but I do like all those other big monsters. See, you want to see those clips of Bruce Willis going around? Yeah, Bruce Willis' situation is super sad, man. Like I love Bruce Willis movies. Actually, I like Bruce Willis's TV shows too. I mean, he carried that Die Hard franchise so well. For someone who wasn't even picked to be part of that franchise. And a whole different kind of action star too. Not a super buff Stallone Rambo, not a Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan the Barbarian. Like, literally just a normal dude, like your average everyday New York cop, taking on a bunch of terrorist groups just by chance. You know, it wasn't like he was forced to. It wasn't like there was a plan. He was just kind of in that situation and showing like what like kind of like a normalcy would happen, instead of just standing in front of the enemy and just blasting around like Rambo and Terminator and all these, you know, like Commando and all these things that Arnold and Stallone did, where they're just standing in front of the enemy, just gunning away. It was like strategic, you know, normal person would do. Like, you're outnumbered, what do? You run away, you try to find better advantage points to take care of the enemies. Like, they're like really thought out, even if they didn't think that they were thinking it out. But I always thought that was great. Normal. Hudson Hawk, yes. Oh my gosh, yes, that is a classic, man. That is a classic. Yeah. Even in, like, you know, what is it? Armageddon. What's the one where he played with Mia Djokovic? Forget what that movie is. Love the man, like I love, like he carried, like he always did really well. Gosh, what's the? Can't remember. It's right there. I can see the movie in my head. Remember now. But yeah, I'm gonna be sad now because freaking Bruce Willis is. Now he has something that's kind of strange, but it's kind of like having dementia. And it's like Bruce Willis, like I think he probably still have a pretty good long life. Depends, I don't know if it's dementia or not. I know they called it something else though that he. And then henceforth why he was making all these like D-rating movies. You know. And I can see just the quality over quantity. Or quantity over quality aspect of him, because boy, he made that call right. In there and just kind of plugging out $6 million movies, you know, and just collecting as much coin as he can. Okay, so he has the dementia too. Okay, so he has the dementia and he has that other thing too that like stops him from having like facial expressions, like can't even like really, he can't really act anymore. Talk about getting hit with something that affects the fact that you can't even act anymore. I need another. Ow. Yeah, so yeah, Bruce Willis is gonna be really sad because I wonder if he's ever in the new Expendables. Or you can't play in the Expendables. And it's like I just don't know. It's the same thing as like when I saw current pictures of Ozzy Osbourne. I am gonna be one sad individual. Like I'm like, no way. They're just like, look at Ozzy now, and I was just like, no, that can't be. My word. No way that's him. Yeah, lo and behold, that's Ozzy Osbourne. Man, I know Ozzy Osbourne's up there in age. Man, I know he's like 90. Oh, yeah. Well, the chassis and the dogs are dry brushed with highlights and rust. Nice. They're actually dog models, did a heavier rust. The rest of the army, nice. Tried to spoil it already, huh? Oh no. My knights are house fallen, but not fallen to chaos. So some are cleaner than others. Ah, gotcha. Man, I wonder why they always put this stinking little heart thingy. Can I move this thing? Move it? So you just got the trim left? Nice. Oh, you're right there being done, buddy. Like, I'm getting so close on my Imperial Knights, it's just like, oh, I can taste it. Taste the full victory. Completely done. All that freehand work we did on all that freehand work I did on those Knights. Trying to get this purple done. Almost there. So I got the other outside done. Gotta finish up clicking away on the inside here. I gotta go back. I'll be right back. I gotta go use the restroom real quick. Right back. Okay, I'm back. Back in action. Alright. It's kind of nice because after I'm done with this model, so this was a kind of a good tester to kind of see what it's like on YouTube Live. I think the thing is just because I'm only streaming 1 day a week on YouTube, I might have to tackle on a little bit smaller of models so we can try to get these things done single stream, which is going to be hard because, like Dragoon points out, watching a squirrel trying to paint. So and after this I have to sit here and prime. I got all the Ultra Bros primed. All the Ultramarines are primed and ready to go. I just need to finish priming all the White Scars. White Scars army. Done. Everyone likes squirrels. What's up, Rosie? How you doing? Darth Rosie in the house. Scars would be cool, wouldn't it? That's what I was thinking, because not a lot of people do white scars. And there's a reason why they don't want to do white scars, is because of that. Because of the white. Like, how do you make the white look white and give the white the dimensions that you need, right? So I was sitting there, I was like, well, that'll be a great, perfect way of kicking things into gear on how to paint white, which technically you're not even painting white. White is your actual edge highlight. Everything is actually gray. That gives you that tricks your eyes into thinking that it's white, but it's not white. It's different shades of gray. Making sure that you keep the deep recesses dark grays, and then build up the lighter grays as you're going up, and then your white is your edge highlight. I think having a bunch of, and I have so many bikes. So it's like, so the Outriders, that's 15 Outriders, 2 ATVs, Reaver Squad, and Assault Intercessor Squad, Captain, Lieutenant, the Khan, whatever Khan that guy is, forget his name. He gets a ballistic dreadnought as well, a tactical war suit as well, Librarian and Phobos armor, the Flame Boys, another Sterngar Vets, and I think I'm going with a block of 10 10 Assault Intercessors, and then 10 Reavers, because Reavers go by Phobos also, so running Reavers with the Tactical War Suit, with the Librarian and Phobos armor, A lieutenant in shield that'll go with the assault intercessors, and a captain that will go, and then Chet. I think I have a walking chaplain. No, I got a chaplain on bike. I got a chaplain on bike that can go with the bike riders. Gotta be a little fast paced there. You got Lion for 49 bucks on Black Friday sale? Really? That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a good deal. What does Lion go for anyways? Is he like a $60 model? Gray, blue. Was then and then edge with titanium white. Yeah, and you can go with a blue too, like so long as it has some form of breaking up. You know, the difference between your darks to when you start accessing into brighter colors to make it white. And yeah, then you'll just edge with like your actual true white. But I think that White Scars would be a good one. I think it's another one that people don't like really tackling, even though that it is a cool chapter. But a lot of people don't like tackling that on because white is a challenge. Red's challenging, yellows are challenging. Reds are one of my favorites, so I always like playing around with reds as much as I can. If I can do an army in red, I normally do because color so. Yeah, they're about 70 bucks. Okay. Oh, that's an awesome deal there, Rosie. Good call. I didn't even think about picking up Lionel Johnson. Eventually, I'm gonna need him because I kept a lot of the. I still got a lot of Space Bros, but I kept that for two specific armies: Dark Angels and Blood Angels. Still kept a lot of these for those when they come. Well, I know the Dark Angels will be coming in the spring. I'm kind of saving what I got left, which I did are gonna make a big huge dent getting these other two armies done and gone, which will get a lot of these guys out of my hair once I get done. Yeah, and here it is through YouTube. Try to knock out two Space Marine armies I imagine it'll go by quick because like I literally knocked out that starter box set. And that was 5 Terminators, 5 or 6 of the Flame guys, the Librarian, the Captain. I don't think it had the Stern Guard with them. I knocked that thing out in about 2 weeks, so I would imagine that in about a month time I should be able to get the Ultra Bros done. About a month and about another month to get the White Scars done. I think I can knock out a couple things at once. Would be like how to paint blue for Ultramarine, how to paint an Ultramarine. I could take any one of those guys, start from beginning to end, record that, and be like Ultra Bros. And then doing White Scars, how to paint white. Do that as a video, be really quick and fast and easy. Like painting White Scars. Last little batch of things I gotta get done. Last little bit right inside here. Trying to get a nice comfortable position to actually start laying this down. Sneezing in. Almost done edging all this purple on this guy. There was a lot of it. And then we can start processing through with the bones. After that, that'll be a lot easier and a lot less of it. Do the flesh parts. Oh, I still got to do the purple on the head. That should go by pretty quick. Like, I almost feel like I might need one last stream on this guy, and he'll just don't think I can acquire. This guy, the new models are extremely more detailed. Tail makes things difficult. I gotta get those Space Boys done quickly as possible so we can start working on Necrons. I got so many Necrons, it's ridiculous. That magazine, that Imperium magazine was a killer deal. And start doing the AdMax, which that's gonna be a difficult, just because of the size of those really small. Normally, when things are relatively large, they're easier to paint. Besides this. One just has just a lot of line work that you gotta do, kind of bring out the scales a bit. But like so. Now he's all fully highlighted. Good. And we'll start getting a little bit more highlights on the actual skin part here, but there's some things I want to do in between these. And then we can kind of edge out the body part a little bit more, but we got to get all these other little things done. So the next one here, we got to get the head. Head's not edge highlighted at all. Hey, what's up, French-tastic? How you doing? I think I'm at a little bit of a better time frame for you. How are things? How are you doing? How are things over across the pond? Changing platforms, why not? I just do this just on Sundays. So I've been sitting here doing YouTube Live just on Sundays. I actually do this from 10 to 2 on my time, which makes it a little bit easier for people across the pond for my stream. And I'm trying to double dip a little bit into YouTube. I need to try to reach a partnership on YouTube. So I need to get 1,000 subscribers, which that's follows. I need 1,000 of those, and then I need 4,000 hours watched by viewers. So let alone you guys, but anybody else that clicks on to my dealio, I need every little bit of time that's been watched to unlock partnership. Been kind of slow and steady, just kind of plugging away. YouTube probably should have done this years ago. I think Talon brought it up to me that I should have been doing this years ago. Right, I should have done both. But it was just so hard for me just doing one and the other, and now I'm just like, well, I could just add a use. That's not too. Especially on my Sundays, because most of the time I'm painting anyways. Like after I'm done here, I might just record how to prime with an airbrush or something, and then do that and what I use. How I prime my models. I'm doing well, thank you. Well, I'm in already. Nice. So your house is all up on board. You got everything all livable and stuff. You're all good inside your place. Know that you had to do a lot of work. Touch closer so you guys can see. This guy has scales for days. In there, but here I got little wood furnace to heat up. The main thing is not installed yet. Gotcha. So you're inside. It's livable, but not to the fullest extent yet. And before you know, you'll be farming new agriculture here pretty soon, buddy. Living that farmer life. Oh, for the best, you got this. Got this. You gotta start planting crops right now. You gotta start growing your shallots, garlic, and potatoes. Well, actually, I think potatoes come in more. Garlic. Get all your bulb stuff already. All your underground rooted stuff. Most of the trees are planted. Good. Good, good, good. I always forgot what I was asking you what you were going to grow for crops. Are you growing fruits? Or are you growing like vegetables? Or are you growing both? I forgot to ask. You were going to grow... You're going to make an organic farm. I forgot what kind of organic. Are you doing organic vegetables or are you going organic fruits? Or you're doing both, which that's a handful in itself. Growing a bunch of almond trees. Seems like where the freaking that sounds like where the money's at, anyways. Everybody can't get enough of their almonds. Berries gonna take a bit to grow. Yeah, because I'm like, you gotta, yeah, especially like berries and stuff. So your fruits are gonna take a while to grow. That's always a good idea to do those right off the jump because it takes a while for trees to start maturing, to start growing a lot of fruit for you. Berries, raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, those all take a lot of while. Grapes, like edible grapes, not winery grapes. With my dog didn't nearly eat up everything in my garden. And I kind of gave up on my garden growing. For now, I need to build bigger high-rise beds. Backyard. Right around now is when I actually start putting in all my garlic cloves in the ground. They get massively big by the time they're ready to harvest. Normally that, and I plant my shallots. Now, crazy enough, I was able to kind of smuggle in a shallot, but then my dog ate pretty much all of it. He liked everything that I grew because he ate every bit of it out of the garden. He even ate all my gray shallots. Now, I wasn't supposed to actually have my hands on gray shallots. Because here in my state, they classify a gray shallot as an invasive species. But I was able to smuggle some gray shallots over here. Because gray shallots are actually awesome to grow. The other problem I had with gray shallots is I couldn't grow them as big as my red shallots. So my gray shallots were actually really small for some reason. Really, they were like the size of a small garlic clove. And I just could never get the gray shallots to grow big enough. And maybe that's something that has to do with like pH levels in the soil or whatnot. I was having kind of a difficult time with the gray shallots. Start planting asparagus if you're planning on doing asparagus. Start doing those because those takes that takes some years to get some maturities out of them. Good old asparagus. I think it takes about 3 years before true harvesting can happen on asparagus. They just come out looking like little bushy little shrubs when they come out the first couple of years, and then all of a sudden they start having the good spears coming out of them. Then if you're ever planning on doing horseradish, which that's probably the most hardiest root out of all rooted things, is a horseradish. And make sure you plant that way by itself because that's an invasive plant. I've seen that my horseradish plants would kill tomato plants. They grew really good together, but then all of a sudden the horseradish plant just straight out kills tomato plants. That thing's a very invasive rooted plant. That thing is ridiculous. Okay, so the almonds don't do well where you're at? Okay. No nut trees. Yeah, they're missing something because I cannot grow gray shallots. Like, I can grow red shallots, I can grow them the size of baseballs. Gray shallots, I can barely get them a golf ball size. Like, they are tiny. And I'm like, man, I'm doing something wrong here. Maybe the red shallots and the gray shallots don't really get along. I didn't know exactly, but they do get very evasive in my garden because they'll just keep on sprouting more and more, and they're all just like these little tiny. I mean, they would grow only like this big. Like, I can't get them. Shallots, I can have like a full baseball size for the red shallots, but the gray shallots cannot get them to grow really well here. And maybe that's another thing too, is just kind of where I live at and stuff. It's just a plant that just does not, just one of those things that just does not grow well here, and that happens. Yeah, asparagus, you just plant that sucker and then you just got to give it time and give it a lot of time. It does really well when I actually plant asparagus and then I put bark over top of it. Seems like it insulates the roots really well. When I put just a thin layer of bark right over top of where my asparagus is, then it keeps me in mind where my asparagus is at all times, because there's a layer of bark, so I don't ever accidentally dig it up. So I put a layer of bark over top of that for some insulation, and I had asparagus spears like nobody's business, and then my dog ate the asparagus and the roots, and they're toast. And I had 7 to 9 years on my asparagus roots, and my dog ate them all up. So it's just like, I'll have to start all over again. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, they kind of do. It's like, I think maybe that could have been a possibility because they were growing next to each other. And maybe the red shallots was taking up too much of the nutrient levels. Not quite sure. I can grow stellar onions. Reds. Yellows. Ordinary whites. I don't normally like whites too much, but I'm not a big fan of the white onion. I like yellow onions a lot better. I think yellow onions have a lot more flavor than white onions. But, you know, to each of their own. And red onions, I love red onions. But yeah. And I can grow potatoes like nobody's business. Potatoes needs mounds. It was always hard for me to do mounds. So I was growing potatoes out of a wheelbarrow. A real deep wheelbarrow. And boy, man, those potatoes loved it. Soft, easy to kind of grow into. I'd put in like 2 potatoes and come out with like 50. Ridiculous how much they can mass produce. And you can do it twice a year. All the little baby ones that didn't grow big enough, when I pull out the whole thing, because it's like a big old tree branch. It's like a tree growing upside down. Pull it out, grab all my big potatoes out of there, and all my baby ones, I just throw them back in there, and then I reharvest them again in the fall. That's when I was really, really into gardening. Fortunately, it's like I couldn't grow fully organic tomatoes because where I live, like, tomatoes just don't really grow where I'm at. So I have to have genetically modified tomatoes to grow into this environment because it's very dry, cold. Get tomatoes to work, so I have to have actually genetic modified tomatoes. Technicality, they're not organic, but organic enough, I guess. Cannot grow regular tomatoes where I live. It's impossible. Unless you're doing an indoor grow. Do that where you can control the temperature, humidity levels, and all that stuff. Then you can get regular tomatoes. I got non-GMO tomato seeds from a place in the Midwest. They shipped them to me. I can never get the seeds to germinate. Well, I got them like somewhat germinating, and they immediately died. They cannot take this, so I have to actually get genetic modified heirlooms that can grow in this environment. Oh yeah, Yukon Golds all day. I can grow the, what are they called, the Russell Browns or whatever they're called. I can grow monster browns. And I can grow broccoli like nobody's business. I can grow so much broccoli it almost looks like a weed after I'm growing those things. Those things are ridiculous. Um, Asparagus is always good. Brussels sprouts, get out of here. I can grow Brussels sprouts, man. They're just unbelievable. Um, Cabbage, for days. I can grow cabbage for days. Lettuce, like lettuce, I can grow really good lettuce. Lettuce actually really likes cooler temperatures, so actually I grow them really well. Because my spring is like really late, so that's when I start my lettuce. And they love that cool temperature. Now carrots, on the other hand, they do not. They like hot stuff. So whenever I plant carrots, I have to water them with hot water, get them to actually grow. They do not want to grow at all. Ground is still too cold for them to grow, so they kind of stay in. They don't germinate, or they won't germinate. So I actually have to water my carrots with carrot seeds with hot water to get them to spring up. Same thing with basil. Like herb plants, you gotta water them with hot water. Always impressed me. Yeah, Yukon Golds always do. Too big for the market here. They really grow them so freaking big that the market don't like them. And then horseradish, you can never go wrong with horseradish because that's a plant that it's impossible to kill unless you're my dog. That just ate it all up. It was crazy. My dog would just come inside and he was just like panting, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're making my eyes water. Got into the horseradish. Oh my goodness. My dog has a steel gut. I don't know, you're just eating on those like they're chew toys. No, it's gonna be exciting to see what you got going on for your garden. Make sure that you get pictures taken and stuff and put it up on my Discord in the gardening area because I'd like to see what you got going on there. Yeah, dogs can't taste spicy, man. But boy, man, they can breathe it out. Dude, like, he was eating that horseradish, man, and it was just coming out of him like a dragon. I'm like, oh my goodness. Freaking dragon breath for days, dude. I'm like, that is, I mean, he was making my eyes water. He was coming up like, love me. And I was like patting him, getting close to him. And I'm like, and he was just like, and I was just like, oh, my eyes. Then he pulled out all my shallots, started eating the shallots, and oh my gosh, dude, he was literally making my eyes water. I was like, oh my gosh, dog, you gotta lay off that stuff. And he practically dug up my whole entire garden. Because I think there's just so much bone meal in there. Yeah, I think he was kind of chasing for bones. Not finding any bones and tearing up all my tearing up all my vegetables. Nope, there's not much to see right now, but yeah, just keep me posted when, like, you know, spring comes around and stuff like that, just to see what you got going on. Well, I'd love to see what you got going for your garden. Your big, massive garden you're planning on doing. Yeah, to steal jalapenos and just eat them under the table. Like, that stuff does not affect them at all. I mean, I guess taste-wise, but I bet all the rest, like, I bet their insides freaking probably burn a little bit when they go to the bathroom. Close up the garden or do it all in raised beds. Yeah, well, I thought I could probably close it in because the thing is about, you know, 4.5 feet tall, how high it is, but I need to go even taller because my dog just leaps right on top of it. I think my dog could probably jump a 6-foot fence, so I'm gonna have to do even higher, shorter, longer raised beds that are up off the ground, and then put a netting there so he can't jump on top of it anymore. He'll hit the net. It'll just take more work in my backyard. I'll have to prep it. I thought because of my previous dogs never really got into my garden, and I had it raised up high enough, and then I kind of enclosed it, but I had the same exact dog years ago, but my dog never jumped that high on top of there. She just kind of didn't, she would jump up on the tiers, so that's where I fenced off all the tiers, but my dog can literally leap. My new dog, he can leap right on top of the garden in like one single bound, and I'm just like, oh, this stinker. I have to re-innovate my garden again. Gotta re-break down my redwood raised bed and then redo my raised bed, make them bigger. Either that or I'll purchase a greenhouse. Put a greenhouse in. I think a greenhouse would be awesome. Got a nice good sized greenhouse going. The worst part is just having complaining neighbors. Like, oh, you're putting a structure up where you're not supposed to. And I'm like, it's not a structure. Greenhouse. I will if whenever the chance comes by to go to Europe again. I think there's many people to go and visit that I've met through the stream and stuff. And there's quite a handful. So yeah, definitely would pay my visits. As my deal is that I was gonna go to England, would be my first dealio, and then I'll take the under channel train, because I just don't particularly care flying, especially that trip there is a rough trip. Fly across the pond. And then I'll be in the northern part of France. And then work my way back all the way down to Toulouse. And pay visits to people on my way back down to Toulouse. Because I'm even supposed to go and pay a visit to Raging Heroes. And they're in Montpellier. Is that right? Montpellier? I guess that's close to the Mediterranean. I could be mispronouncing that. That's where Raging Heroes is HQ is located at. Yeah, it's the town zoning, so when I put it in there, I have to make sure that they're on casters on the lighthouse or the greenhouse. Put the greenhouse and then have makeshift wheels on there that has like the kick pump on there where you can kick it and then it pushes the wheel down, so it kind of lifts the whole thing up. Then it's not a set structure, it's a movable structure, so then I think I can get away with it. Finding the loopholes to being able to do the things that I want to do. Yeah, I get it. I know. Yeah, you don't have to deal with that where you live there in Ohio. You can do whatever you want, which sounds nice. Because that's what I would do when I'm over there, would be putting a big giant greenhouse in place. Lucky a few days back, I found the Stormcast box Stormbringer. Oh, that's a good box. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, but I want to go to Normandy. So I need to... I wanted to take the train... once I land into Heathrow, check out London, maybe go into some places in England, northern England, and then work my way down, probably spend maybe a week or so there in England. That'd be kind of the vacation deal. Then get down, take the train, and then hit the Normandy part, where the train comes through the channel and then goes into France, and then from there check out Normandy, because I've always been, that's the only place I have not been to will be Normandy and a lot of the northern parts of France, and then we might even go over to Belgium while we're over there. Just hit Belgium real quick, go to like Brussels or wherever, and over there, and then come back. I like to hit like Niche. Niche would be cool. I could be saying that wrong too. The Niche. I could skip Paris altogether. Unless you live in Paris there, French Chastic. I don't know if I've been to Paris once. I've been there for a few days. I'm good. I'll work my way back down to Bordeaux. I really like Bordeaux. So I'll probably go from like Normandy I think, can't remember if Bordeaux is south or what, east of Paris. But anyways, I'd bypass Paris and go right to Bordeaux, or maybe shoot off and go to Nice would be really neat, and then come down to Bordeaux, and then from Bordeaux down to Toulouse, and then from Toulouse I would just keep going, see family, the in-laws and whatnot in there, and then go down to Montpellier. That's down there by the Mediterranean. Go to the Mediterranean for a little bit. Like an all-weather room, that's what I was wanting, because then you can have stuff like all year long. Oh, you're not far from Bordeaux? Okay. I love Bordeaux. Like, I had the best time when I was in. Just getting on, just getting trashed, and then getting on a train that just goes around in a circle around Bordeaux. It was quite fun. I definitely. And I think like the only thing that I would do when I'm in, if we do go into Paris, is to spend a few days at the Louvre. I would like to have a little bit more time at the Louvre. That would be the only reason why. I've already seen Versailles. I do like Versailles though. Like Versailles was kind of nice. I liked it much better than Paris. If I'm in Paris, I'll go to the Louvre one more time. Things at the Louvre. So want to go back to Bastogne? It'll be a heck of a trip, but it'll be a trip worth doing. Station down there, sobering experience, I can imagine. I work in the Garden of Versailles in my youth. Oh, nice. Not for long, but enough. That somber feeling you get when you're there. And also, I need to start working on my French. Start busting out the good old babble. Learning French as quickly as I possibly can. Knock out French, knock out Spanish. Hoping to probably kind of knock both of those out relatively the same. Same, but they're different for both. But I think once you catch one, the other ones will kind of follow through easier. Yeah, I'm planning on just sitting there and just smashing out Babel so I can get so I can get French and Spanish down quickly as possible. They're different, but with kind of same similarities, which would be easy to kind of switch from French and Spanish. Even there is a difference, but there is a significant amount of similarities. So I feel like I can actually knock both of them out at the same time. Yeah, about that it never went. Yes, yes. Like, there's a lot of things I want to go into on Norn. Mr. Chase go to Juno Beach. Got flu really bad on the day we were off while convening for the 90th, but managed to walk a lot of the World War I battlefields in that area. Oh, that's nice. Oh, stop! I'm not worried about you. You'll catch on no time. I will start smashing out Babel a little bit more. It's gonna be awesome because I'll just start doing Babel while when I'm doing my jobs and stuff. So everybody will just be ranting in a different language. As I just work by myself anyways. I'm like, it's just gonna be just the tough part is just trying to break the language barrier. I feel like once I can get like the pattern to it, or like kind of figure out like the key deal of doing dual languages. Once I can break through that hardship there, then I feel like it'll just be a lot easier to pick up language. First Division B's also the Pont du Ha. Gotcha. Alright, so we got the head all completed. Well, we got all the purple on the head all completed. Alright, now we gotta switch gears. And we're gonna be sitting here working on getting all the bones done. So everything that's that golden brown. We're gonna sit there and start making those all into bone forms. So we used dark golden brown. We're gonna need yellow ochre. And I'm gonna actually take bright ivory, always worked better. Okay. I need bright ivory. Alright. Man, I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to change the subject to talk about something else, and now I forgot what the heck I was going to talk about. Oh, I remember now. So, you guys find it a little interesting how Ridley Scott's in here just cranking out a bunch of movies he's directing now? Almost makes me feel like something's going on with Ridley Scott. Like something medically wrong with him. Just picking up what he can. Because, like, because he's doing Gladiator 2. He just released Napoleon. He's doing Gladiator 2. I think just the year prior he did the, what was that other, other movie he did just like the year prior? Yeah, he's like 86. Yeah, it's just like how to, exactly. That's what I was thinking, Talon. It's almost like how Bruce Willis was just cranking out all these movies because he had this problem, and then all of a sudden he was just in all these like low budget movies, but just collecting friggin' like $6 to $10 million a movie, just pumping these things out like crazy. And then now all of a sudden Ridley Scott, like you normally Ridley Scott, you give him like every 5 years he'll give you a movie, right? Like he gave you like the Aliens Covenant, you know, the Prometheus movies, you know, they had like these big time gaps in there when he was doing them. And then now you see him doing the Duel, what was it? The Duel or the Duelist or the Duel was a year prior, or last year was the Duel. Now this year is Napoleon. Then Gladiator 2 is coming out next year right at the same time. So he's just like pow, 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 pow. Like he's doing yearly movies. Like that guy normally never does yearly movies. The Last Duel, thank you. Yeah, so his Last Duel was like last year. And then he did Napoleon, and then now he's doing Gladiator 2 next year. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, man, he is cranking them out. And he's like, and he's always producing stuff, which that's different, but him actually fully being there directing the movies, you know, this seems like something's going on, like a health problem or a health issue that's happening, and then he's just like, I gotta get all these movies I'm planning on getting them done. This kind of made me feel like that was happening. I'm going to need a little bit of this dark golden brown because we're going to be mixing yellow ochre in it. I know, and then that's the other thing too, because anytime that you had like a Ridley Scott movie, you know it was going to be good. You know, yeah, he only had like a handful of, he only had like a small few of like sucky movies. But most of the time, like Ridley, and the sucky movies are happening the currently than his previous movies that he did. Was doing an interview. His original cut of Napoleon was 4 hours, cut to 2.5 for theaters. Stream release will be the full 4 hours. Oh, okay. And that's another thing too, which I'm surprised of too, because a lot of people did say something about Joaquin Phoenix's acting of it, and I'm like, dude, he's normally stellar. He's normally stellar at his acting. Yeah, when he did the Prometheus, I still kind of like the Prometheus movies, but then like the Alien Covenant, when that came out, I really liked the Alien Covenant. Alien Covenant was awesome. I don't know if he actually did it or not, or just produced it, but I really liked Alien Covenant. Alien Covenant was awesome. You know, my wife compared me looking like Michael Fassbender. Can you believe that? Now I was watching Killer, which I don't know if you guys like that movie. It wasn't really up to par to me. It did have a little bit of that kind of Fight Club, you know, narrative aspect to it. But I didn't really particularly care for Killer. I was on Netflix. I don't know if you guys did or not, but watched it or not. But I'm sitting there, I'm like, Michael Fassbender plays all these kind of creepy characters. You know, like these like deranged. Because even when he was in Prometheus, he was he was the android. Like, I think the only ones that he was really good at is playing Magneto, but even that was like still kind of a deranged character. And then she's like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "He looks just like you, or you look just like him." I was just like, "Oh, really? Now you're gonna make me look like the guy that I just said that looks extremely deranged when he plays in movies?" I sat there like, "All right, all right." He's like, "Oh my God, he does." Which I think is just saying that I'm looking really old. And the man wrinkles and the gray hair coming. Yeah, like I liked him in like his little small part in 300. I liked him in what was it? Hunger. I think he did an excellent job in Hunger. I liked him in his little spot in 300 where he freaking throws the spear right into the rhino's head. That was really cool. I always love Gerard Butler. I don't care what he plays in. I know Gerard Butler's a little bit, coming of age, but I would love to see him as I would love to see him clean cut and looking like playing for James Bond. Yeah, it has like kind of a slow, entertaining process to it. I mean, it wasn't like fully action packed to a degree. I think his fight scene was the best fight scene that he had, and really realistically a good fight scene. Like it was like a realistic fight scene. Like it was good in that aspect there. Like I had to say, like out of all of that fight scene that he had in there was tremendous because that is what. Are you? Sorry, guys. Really hard to catch inside here while I'm. Has Quentin Tarantino said he's done making movies yet, or is he still making one more? Can't remember if he's making one more or not. Yeah, and if they do a Kill Bill Volume 3, I'm not even going to be interested in that one at all. Not that I didn't like the Kill Bill movies. Is that I just don't, I'm not a big fan of the Human Thurman fan base. And if you guys are into uh, it's like cartoon slash anime kind of style, you watch Netflix Blue Eye Samurai. It's just like a Japanese version of Kill Bill. Which I want to say, like, that's why I say, like, cartoon slash anime, because it wasn't really an anime per se. It was more like cartoon, like Castlevania. I almost wanted to say it was more cartoon structured than anime structured. If you actually watched that one, the Blue Eye Samurai was actually good. I almost thought it was like almost like a slightly better version of Kill Bill. Blowing up right now. Thousand spikes. Sharp little claws all over this dude. Anybody seen the James Gunn version of the Blue Beetle? I didn't even know that thing even came out. I was just on HBO Max and I saw it was like Blue Beetle. I was like, oh, it's already. Oh, it came out in August. I'm like, I didn't even read. I hit up the store, no problem. Got 2 more coats for the Browns here. Pretty much set to go. All the bone sections all done. Then we just got all the little accents. Not exactly sure. Get those done today, or maybe we'll start the base coats today. Next Sunday, finish up the rest of this Tyranid, and try to go with something a little smaller, where I can possibly finish it in 1, if not two streams of it for the team. Kind of get some ayahs done. Stick the tail right into my wet palette. Trying to keep track. Lot of spiky. Oh, Rosie, you're doing the Monarch? Yeah, the beginning part was kind of a hard story for me to kind of swallow, but it's getting. And I'm hoping that in the new current episodes that there'll be more monster survivaling The beginning is just like a bunch of drama. Yeah, it was just kind of and it's like a strange drama. It's not even like your everyday drama. This one's like a way different aspect of the drama. I'm sitting there, I'm like, what? What? Like, it was just kind of hard for me to even swallow. So I'm like, this dude is sitting there studying and whatever, but he's living a double life, huh? Okay. Yeah, the others were bait. Yeah. I just think that they'll start introducing more of the lower class monsters that were in the older Godzilla movies. Like when Godzilla was just claymations and rubber suits. And actually bringing a lot of those monsters to life. Bruno Bignoto, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. How are you doing this afternoon? appreciate that. And there's 2 Godzilla movies coming in 2023, 2024. Well, I think if they make the movies more like Skull Island, now I really like Skull Island. Now, I think that Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus Kong, I think that was a little too much rushed. I think they should have taken their time before they brought the Mecha Godzilla in. Like, I almost felt like Mecha Godzilla could be its own standalone apex towards Godzilla, without just kind of, oh, here, by the way, here's Mecha Godzilla. I'd like to have more, you know, Mecha Godzilla. You know, it was just like that chance trying to defeat Godzilla with a mecha version of him, done with crazy, super advanced nanotechnology, kind of almost Transformer-ish Mecha Godzilla. And then literally had it where, you know, Kong versus Godzilla is Kong versus Godzilla, but instead they kind of made the Mecha Godzilla both Kong and Godzilla's enemy. The Creator was a really good movie. The Creator, what's The Creator on? Same year? It'll be alright. It'll be alright. I have to say that the movies are getting better and better for the Godzilla movie. I wish I could say the same about Transformers, but alright. I think I got, okay, I got all the bones on this deal. Now we need to go up one more. Possibly a couple stages higher. And then, yeah, so I know that after I'm done with the Norn Emissary, I'll make sure to take other Tyranids. And make those. Oh no. It just flung a bunch of paint onto me. Not do that. So I take some bright ivory. I'm gonna mix this in. Come on, let's be serious a second. The best they can do is 2024. You're gonna binge watch the whole the Who from BBC? They're like old school, so you're gonna go way back for Doctor Who? Like, I remember liking Doctor Who, but now it's been so crazily expanded that I can't like that. That's gonna be a feat. That's kind of like trying to watch One Piece from episode 1. Like that's a lot of bench watching. And now we're starting to get the bone structure on this guy. We added the bright ivory mixed with the dark golden brown and the yellow ochre, so it has kind of the yellow peel to this. Light yellow hue. Not exactly white. But we're starting to get more in. Making the bone structure instead of everything kind of looking brown, and it's a different complete color to the actual skin layer that's on it. For the Leviathan High Fleet. One thing that I like the Leviathan High Fleet, but I don't particularly care for that bright white skin. I kind of liked more of a like kind of a toned flesh for their external armor pieces. And I do like the purples for the scales. Definitely enjoy those. Oh yeah. Yeah, it gets 26 seasons, yes. Yeah, get some stable brushes. Heck yeah. See here. You're over there and need to find a place across the pond that I can kind of go with about getting good set of brushes that are over there in Europe. Because there should be some great sable brushes over there in Europe, because most of all these brushes are all made in Germany. There's got to be some form of a German manufacturer or company that sells brushes, because a lot of these brushes are all these brushes, the Pro Acryl brushes, which I'm not exactly sure if you can get Pro Acryl brushes, like these Pro Sables, over in Europe. But I think there's a United Kingdom dispenser, and then also, well, you got the AK brushes. They have some AK interactive brushes. Now I have some of those. I got some of these. So I have the AK. I got these premium Kalinsky brushes. Oh, Silver Kalinsky from Green Stuff. I have not tried the Green Stuff brushes, but you could try the AK Interactive. That's over in Spain. So I imagine that they should have a marketing over there in France as well. Or at least a way of shipping them. Raphael it's not what it used to be. And then I don't know exactly how expensive your Winston Newton sable brushes are. I don't know if those are super expensive in France since Winston Newton is from France. So you should have some Winston Newton sable brushes, which I've seen a whole bunch of people use those. The only reason I don't buy those is here in the States they're $20 to $30 a brush. But I think that's because of the import fees. It's like kind of the same as like me buying, you know, Bordeaux wines here in the States is a gazillion times more expensive than buying Bordeaux over there in France. Just because the import taxes are so high, they have to sell those bottles super expensive. So I imagine that your Winston Newton brushes should be cheaper over there than they are here. That's another option to look at. I hear people preaching about their Winston Newtons that they had for 1,000 years. They're still going strong. Any set for sale at this time? Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm like, that's kind of like another thing I forgot. I'm like, oh, well, France has the Winston Newton brushes, so you could probably go after the Winston Newtons when they come in, and I bet they're probably not that bad in price. Raphael 8404s, the French version of Winston Newtons. I like Raphael's more than the Winston Newtons. We'll look into it. All right. But just kind of test those out because over in France they're going to be a little cheaper. Cheaper than if I was buying them here in States. Getting there with the bone. Go one more brightness to kind of fully structure out the bone. Practically going into the bright ivory. Real heavy in the bright ivory. This color that we're doing right now is kind of our mid-tones, and then we're just going to kind of highlight big batches, not really edge highlight, but just highlight big batches, because there's no real edge highlighting on the bone areas, because everything is just extremely round. Really doesn't have much exposure for doing highlights on bone. Now you could probably do some supposedly edge highlights if you want to kind of give some textures to the bone. Most of the time you can kind of get away with just finishing up right where I painted. Kind of just give a nice little line coat for Oh, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with having backup brushes. Trust me. Much as I paint all the time, I always need backup brushes. Sables from Foxbite, Nation Mark Fox, Pro Sables. They're from Monument Hobbies, exclamation mark Pro. Also, if you're up there in Canada, exclamation mark Fenris, you can throw brushes there too. You guys can use the discount code if you like. Pro Krill stuff. Pro Monument stuff. Thing is, I don't have anything over there across the pond. I need to start doing a little hunting and store company or something that work with me with something with like an affiliate or a discount code over across the pond so people from Europe and England and stuff can get something. I tried with AK Interactive. That's when I feel like speaking to a language would help out tremendously. Even when I got into contact with Raging Heroes that's over in France, I think it would have been better if I responded more in French to them. That's the reason why I need to start working a little bit more on my language barrier. Then I can just sit and dub my own stuff in different channels on YouTube if I learn multiple languages. I don't need anybody to dub it. I'll dub my own. Even have like a better one. My French dub, I think I'll just start speaking a little bit more like Pepe Le Pew. Change my voice altogether. Pepe Le Pew, he's Italian over there. That's hilarious. I wonder why. Because I'm like, he's Pepe. Yeah, he's Pepe Le Pew. Yeah. So they make Pepe Le Pew Italian over there? But I mean, I think he does speak more than just French when he's madly in love. I think he takes multiple cultures, multiple language deals. Yeah, that's funny because it was mostly French that was coming out of Pepe Le Pew here in the so that's so funny that they made him more Italian over there. Which I guess it makes sense because I don't think France would make a cartoon that makes fun of French. Um, that what it was mostly, kind of poking fun at the French way. That's what you remember as a kid. Like I could see that they would probably change how he speaks, more of an Italian to kind of poke fun at the Italian. Then we do it the kind of little poke fun at the French. quite a few years ago, yeah, and then like Pepe Le Pew, he's just on straight out cancel culture here, so no more Pepe Le Pew. Sure, it's gonna flop like a charm. uh. It's like I'm excited about like Hasbro making. Looks like they're gonna be bringing back GI Joes, but just don't really particularly care that they're gonna bring GI Joes into the Transformers world. I think that's what I got out of the last one, right? I hope that was just like a cameo to its own series of movies. The G.I. Joes. Yeah, I just like I thought Transformers should be set in its own era, and GI Joe set in its own era as well. But I mean, it's like I like the fact that they're bringing GI Joes back. Didn't think that they were mixing them with Transformers. Which, in all honesty, I think they could spice up Transformers a little bit more, so maybe it wouldn't be a bad deal to bring in G.I. Joes. Because that last Transformer movie I watched, now they did it more accurate this time, but it's still, to me, they just feel boring. They're just like super long, and I don't think they need to even be that long, to be honest. And they've been killing off more Transformers than I can even count. It was kind of like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man's, like you couldn't kill off more villains. You killed off so many villains. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, I guess they're planning on not making any more Spider-Mans because you're literally killing off every, like, crucial villain that spawns kind of new villains. So, when they started killing the villains, I'm like, well, I think this is going to be kind of a short series. They're like, I can't anymore. It was the same thing when they made the G.I. Joes. They were, you know, the Channing Tatum playing Duke and stuff. And they were like killing off my G.I. Joe characters, and I was just like, well, I guess they're not planning on making any more G.I. Joes. And just like my Transformer movies, they keep killing all my Transformer guys. I'm like, your Transformer dude shouldn't be dying so much. And just butchering all my Transformers. And like the only one that they're keeping alive, and they almost killed him off, was Optimus Prime. I'm like, no, you can't keep on killing main characters. Like, who in the heck are supposed to continue afterwards if you don't have Optimus Prime? Wow, I got crazy shit. I don't know why I got such horrible shit. You're like, I just can't do it anymore. And I think also maybe to make the Transformer movies maybe a little bit better is to kind of cut out Michael Bay from doing them. Right. Well, the Bumblebee was actually I didn't even think that movie was half bad. Was the Bumblebee? And I think the reason why the movie was relatively good because I don't think Michael Bay did it. I mean, I think he produced, but I don't think he actually. That's the reason I think that the Bumblebee side story was much better than Michael Bay Transformer movie. Like I didn't mind the ones with Shia LaBeouf in them, but then all of a sudden Michael Bay just goes on this like Transformer killing spree. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and put him as a beetle bug. In the past 20 years. It's alright. Whenever time that Disney starts failing, they just buy out another studio. It seems like that's their trade card mark. Lots of spikes. Pause and I do these front ones in a different color. Do you like the Loki's TV series? I think out of the TV series, I think maybe that is probably. I'm trying to think about it. I'm like, I think that one was better than all the other TV series that they've had so far. The Marvel stuff. There's a way for the disappointment to come. That's funny. uh, there's a way for the disappointment. That's so. Hey, what's up, Space Nifty? How you doing? How is all your AI art stuff coming along? You've been posting a lot of them on the Discord. They look really neat. Trying to figure if I can figure out the AI stuff. You already gave me a little rundown. I still have to spend some time on it. I just been busy, as you can see, just painting and taking care of the fam. But once I got some free time to actually be like, all right. To mess around with that AI stuff. Then I'm wondering if I can like give access to, you're kind of hungover. Kind of hungover, huh? And I was like wondering if I can like introduce the AI into um the Unreal Engine. That's from Epic Games. So I could make it do command wise, do what I wanted to do. Alright, guys. So I'm just gonna go into this final layer of the bone, and then we're gonna probably call it quits, and then the next stream we should be able to wrap up hopefully the majority of this model. A couple things. I always forget the head. Not as many. And while I have the colors relatively matching, you can prompt it to do it in that style. That's what I was thinking. I was like, man, if I can prompt them to have like the characters that you developed, like how you carry, like that kind of art style that you posted on the Discord, how those look, but just kind of animate them a little bit. I love Spaceballs. I love Spaceballs. And I think Coneheads, isn't that with Dan Aykroyd and Aykroyd in there? Barely can remember the Coneheads, but I remember laughing during it, so I imagine that was funny. Those are masterpieces in comparison. That's on a whole different kind. They're like, great movie. Use the Schwartz. But like Dan Aykroyd was always a person that I really liked that Space Odyssey stuff, like because that's even like what Ghostbusters was supposed to be instead of where it took place in New York. Like Ghostbusters was supposed to be like this intergalactic uh space like going into like space alien kind of dealio, like a space odyssey, and taking on like ghost creatures in space. Like it was supposed to be like this crazy like space odyssey that Dan Aykroyd came up with for Ghostbusters. Very interesting when you watch like uh how it was made, or the movies that made us, or whatever that thing was on Netflix. To watch the one about Ghostbusters because he was planning on making that like an intergalactic space odyssey. He's like all into that kind of genre. When they're coming out, oh, absolutely, I agree on that one. And there wasn't a whole lot of bone stuff that we have to deal with. This guy, it makes it easier. Finish up the bones. And all we have to do is all the brains and the eternal parts, and then this guy should be relatively done. All the small stuff after we get all the bones done. Alright, so with the bones, I'm going to just take the bright ivory and a touch of the mixture of the golden brown and the brown. Because I wanted to go more into the bright ivory part without going fully bright ivory, but it's going to make it look like it is. Extremely bright. Up into that eggshell white kind of look. Oh, we're gonna have to go almost to a point where you can't even tell the two. Get some more bright ivory into this mix. Goes on extremely bright, but then it kind of dries out and kind of fades out a little. More so of a difference between that and that. See? Last little bit of things. They should go by relatively, hopefully a little quicker. Bones on the head here. Getting close. Almost to the point of almost assembling this thing. We just got a handful of things. Joe from work, what's up? How you doing, Phoenix? Have a nice day, afternoon, night. Pick one. I'll see y'all in the next one. All right, French-tastic. You have a good one. Thanks for coming and hanging out, man. I appreciate that. like I said, it's coming out a lot faster. This one goes by a lot quicker. The final deal that we got to do, and then we'll call it quits for today. Been awesome. I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out with me. Appreciate the the subscribing. The same as following here on YouTube. Like following, subscribing on here, liking the channel too helps out tremendously. So appreciate that if you do. And just coming and hanging out helps out with the try to get the hours achieved, so I can try to get the partnership with YouTube, which is a little bit more difficult than it was with Twitch. But I figure that if I just keep on painting, everybody will come. So keep on constantly doing this. Try to smash out a 2,000 point army. This one was really big, so it took me a few stream sessions to get this one done because it's such a big model. But I'll start working on like smaller models, which we can actually get done hopefully in like one stream would be. I think if I did like the winged name it Hive Tyrant, something like that. The Winged Prime Tyrant or something. A lot smaller and probably a little easier to get done. Work on like little small batches of like Termagants, Neuragons, Gargoyles. Be relatively easy as well. Be kind of like a batch of maybe 5 at a time done, and one stream would be just detail. Had to make sure to bring out the most out of the model. there. Nice little half of these spikes we got. Down to this little. Right there. Definitely time for some. Man, still a couple more bone things. But it was done. Just right on this tail. All right. This one. All the bones on it. Much better. Alright. I'm probably going to call it quits for today. We did a really good session this one. I think I got one more stream on this dude, and that'll be for getting these little ball things. I think I'm going to do those green. Might do the blades in green as well, just to kind of give it the accent tones. Either we're doing green brains or blue brains, one of the two. We got to do the eternal parts here with more of like a softer flesh tissue. So we're gonna go kind of more in like that burgundy kind of look, getting the flesh tones to kind of come out there. And inside where the carapace is of the hard shell here, we'll do some flesh tendons. There's some tendons here that are inside the actual outer layer of this body. So we want to sit there and kind of flesh those out. And then green out the balls, and then the brains, we'll either do them in blue or we can go green in that matter. I don't mind the green at all, and just kind of have all the green accents on top of the purple. Wouldn't be a bad gig. So green, the green balls, green brains, the green blade. Then we'll go into and then the vents. The vents will also be a fleshy tone as the inside. Then as that's all done, we'll give it a full wash, and then that should fix it all up by next Saturday. We should have the Norn Emissary complete. We might go in a little bit more and kind of brighten up the flesh tone, but I kind of like the flesh tone the way it is, but we could go a little bit lighter, I guess, on the skin tone. It is quite beige looking color, but other than that, I do like everything else. The bones and everything kind of turned out looking really good on there. I do like that a lot. But that's pretty much all I got in me for today. And then the next one should be the wrap up of the Norn Emissary, and then we can start working on the other character models, batches of models, doing like batches of 5. I think I can do batches of 5 of like Termagants, Snuragants. Kind of get like batches of 5 done at a time. That works out really good, so we can kind of get the ball moving a little bit on the Tyranids, so we can start getting the 2,000 points of Tyranids done. And then of course it just depends on weather too. If I get weathered out here and I have snow days, I'm gonna start YouTube living on my snow days, so those are gonna be sporadic, but consistently every Sunday there will be another video. Tomorrow on Monday over on Twitch, !Twitch, I have this Vindicator that we're gonna have to finish all up, and the base that goes with it. Get that done for my Imperial Knight Army. So this is the last model that I have to do to get done, and then we have to work on all the bases. So I'm hoping to get the Vindicator completely done on a base and doing all the bases for the Imperial Knights, and then those are completely finished and done. And then on Twitch, won't be streaming Wednesday, and then Friday will be a Niffy, and then Sunday I'll try to sit here and do another YouTube live. Just because there's other things happening personally. So yeah, so that's what I got going for that. I think we did an excellent amount of progress onto this model, and then now we just got to kind of do all the little in-between stuff. But we're getting there. So just want to close up shop for today. Well, it's not going to be fully closed because I'm going to sit there and start priming some more Space Marines. So I have 2 other Space Marine armies that we're going to be working on. We're going to be doing the Ultra Bros on Twitch, and probably the White Scars on Twitch, and then we're going to have Necrons and Admechs rolling up right afterwards. I got plenty of those to get those things done. Everything will be over on my Discord, on my Cell Art Gallery, !Discord. Shout out to the sponsors above. I really do appreciate everything that they do. So I highly recommend anything there. You can use those in command chats in chat, or you can go over to my Discord. They'll be over in my sponsor affiliate link, like this one here for Foxbite, !Fox, or you can go over on my Discord and get all the info out of that. Shout out to everybody. Thank you so much for doing the subscribes and hitting those like buttons on these videos. I really do appreciate that. And the subscribers onto YouTube, getting my goal to 1,000. I really do appreciate that. So those are my kind of end mark, tier mark, dog ears, whatever you want to call it. Those are our goals that we're trying to do on YouTube here, and just getting the amount of viewership as I can of watching these videos. So thank you everyone. I thank everyone for coming and hanging out with me tonight. I really do appreciate it. And then just hit up over on the Discord. And other than that, I will close shop now. You can hit me up on my socials, socials. You can come over on Twitch, where I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Twitch, Twitch. But other than that, everything's all set. We're going to be working on the Vindicare tomorrow on Monday, on the Case of the Mondays over on Twitch. And get that Vindicare and hopefully all the night bases done tomorrow. That's the goal. I'm going to try not to do any more squirrel moments and actually be really focused tomorrow on getting all those done, because I might be a week out before I can actually stream again. So, other than that, guys, thank you so much for coming hanging out with me on YouTube Live. Just remember to hit the subscribe so you know when I come on. Hit the little bell, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you guys so much. Till then, I will catch you guys over on Twitch tomorrow, Twitch. And till then, thank you guys, and I will talk to you guys later. See you.